Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the American TBD-1 sitting at 1.3 battle rating, the first American bomber in their bomber line. And what an amazing thing this plane is. I was flying with the squadron and we had a shitload of fun in this plane. Now, it is definitely not a plane to be overlooked. It does have offensive armament. It is reasonable in its maneuverability for a bomber. And just overall with the turret, the gunner and the weaponry in the bombs, this is a fantastic bomber and you definitely have to take a look at this. Don't forget to fly this plane out and have some fun, specifically with a few friends, maybe with a fighter mixed in. These things can also function as gunships. I just had a lot of fun, and I have actually at the moment I didn't fly it a lot. We flew it to spade it, and to get some footage. And I think it was 3 or 4 matches, 5 kills, 2 deaths. It's 2.5 to 1 kill death ratio. But anyway, you can have a lot of fun with this plane. What this thing is not, it is not fast. Definitely not fast. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without WEP is 283 kilometers an hour and with WEP 287. At 4,500 meters this is 242 without and 244 with, and finally at 6,500 meters still go up to 204 without WEP and 206 with WEP. You can also see that the WEP is not particularly powerful on this plane, but I mean this is one of the starter planes, so nobody expects it to be that fast. So not a very fast mover, but still fun, believe me. I was happily surprised by this plane. I never flew it before this flyout, so I was just happily surprised to find this jewel in there. The top speed in a dive in this plane is 408 before she redlines and 495 before she rips apart. Now there's also not a very high top speed in the dive, although the 500 before she rips apart, almost 500, is still quite decent. You gotta pull out before then of course, but not too bad. Control stiffening, well, it rips apart before the thing gets worse. In the roll rate, the elevator stays functional up until the rip speed, but the roll rate especially becomes only better and then it stays the same until the rip speed. It is actually rolling very slow when this thing is slow, so it is rolling badly when it's slow, and it becomes a little bit better once you go above 300. And yeah, progressively it doesn't decrease, so it stays the same until 500. I haven't noticed any ticks in the roll rate, so that's good. No control stiffening to speak of, except when it's slow. The stall speed in the plane is 40 kilometers an hour, so she has a great stall speed. This is amazing for a bomber. But that is not supported by the vertical energy retention, which is bad, and also not by the climb rate, which is below average. The firepower though, as you just saw, is not bad. It is actually average. It has one 12.7mm M2 Browning machine gun, so 150 cal, with 500 rounds per gun. One gun, so 500 rounds for the 50 cal. That's a lot of ammo, so the ammo load is excellent. Can't say otherwise. She also has a turret, a 7.62mm Browning machine gun with 600 rounds per gun. The turret cannot shoot straight back because the tail fin is in the way, the vertical stabilizer. But it still has a back gunner, so you know, you can play around with that a little bit, especially when people come close. But I would stay in the pilot seat and try out the maneuverability of the plane. It's not fantastic when things boom and zoom on you and have high speed. They stiffen up in the dive, and you can make fun. You can make fun with that. It's absolutely enjoyable. And here, as a squadron, as a squad, we had great fun with that as well, supporting each other and such. So we rolled up the enemy team there at the end here. To spoil it a little bit, but we did that together. Acceleration of the plane in a straight line is average. And in a dive it's actually decent, especially when you still have the bomb load on there. Does drag it down a little bit. The energy retention is in the horizontal is decent, but in the vertical it's bad. It does lose a lot of speed in the vertical, and if you still have your bombs on, this is atrocious. But if you drop the bombs, then the vertical energy retention is just normal bad. Climb rate is below average as well, so that doesn't help as well in the vertical. So that stall speed is nice with 40, but for the rest the performance in the vertical is not fantastic. So you want to stay out of the vertical as you, if you can, try to keep the maneuvers in the horizontal. But of course, if you're facing other heavy planes, it might be beneficial to go into the vertical. You have to find that out in the details. It's all in the fine print, but I have surprised quite a few planes with this thing and gotten quite a few kills with it in a few matches that I flew. 5 kills and 2 deaths is definitely not bad for a beginning, and I don't even know the plane extremely well yet, you know. When you fly a plane out and you get the basics, you know the basics and you can give a review like this, but to become a master of a plane, you definitely need to fly it out more than the I think it was 4 matches, 3 or 4 matches, than I did. So yeah, the mastering of this plane will bring you more benefits, I'm sure, and will make it even better in a master pilot in this plane. I think she can do even better. So the turn time is average in the end, even with flaps. Flaps rip off at 290 kilometers an hour, which is close to the maximum speed in a straight line. So you got to be careful in that dive. They rip off quite quickly once it starts flashing. Average turn time, and the roll rate is below average. This is not fantastic, but it's good for a bomber, let's say. But against the fighters and the attackers, it's below average. So overall maneuverability, I would say average. Well, between below average and average. Overheating is present, but manageable, definitely manageable. And durability in the plane is good. It can soak a lot of damage, but it's mainly a fantastic, versatile little plane that can, you know, you have your offensive 50 cal. It's not a 7.62 millimeter, a small caliber machine gun. No, it's a 50 cal. You have a forward-facing 50 cal on this thing. At rank 1, that's average firepower for most fighters. They have 2 7.7s or something. It's fantastic. Bomb loads, you start with 12 100 pounders. You can also have 2 different sets of torpedoes. And you, as a final load, you can have 2 500 pounders with 6 100 pounders. Quite decent bomb loads for the thing. You can play around with that, fiddle with it a little bit. The 12 100 pounders are nice for soft targets, but 2 500s with the 6 100 pounders are nice for bases. So you can switch them around a little bit depending on the map and depending on what you want to do with it. But yeah, I was so surprised by this plane in a positive sense. I had never flown it. I had considered it to be a worthless plane. But how wrong I was. Starting to fly this thing out, I haven't had this much fun in a long time. So yeah, definitely recommended the TBD-1. Absolute joy to fly. And a monster. In good hands. If you become a master in this plane, man, you can rack up the kills. Put a talisman on it. Woo! Anyway, let's see the scoreboard for this match. 2 kills. We had the best squad, 12,000 silver lions and 2,400 research points for the modifications. Nice. I'll see you in the conclusion. And we actually spaded it in this match as well. So that's funny. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now, this plane was such a surprise. I had never flown it before. I was absolutely surprised that it was so good and that so much fun could be had with this plane. It's a great little bomber. It is sturdy. It can take a lot of damage. It has a forward-facing 50 cal with 500 rounds. I mean, that is... You are fighting 1.0, 1.3 and in an up tier 2.3 maximum, but 50 cal armament on its own battle rating is decent firepower. Most planes have 2 7.7s or something like that. So with the firepower, you don't have to be afraid. You have a 50 cal in front, and the plane is well, not fantastically maneuverable, but it's still somewhere between below average and average. And when people come down diving on you, you can absolutely out-turn them and, you know, give them hell and make it difficult for them. You have a turret firing at them as well, so nice bomb loads, nice and versatile. This plane is an absolute joy to fly, especially in a squad. I can definitely recommend it. Go and fly this plane if you haven't done that yet. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.